First time I heard it, it was a surprise. But what my father did was not a surprise. He turned me around and he said, with his fingers in my chest, "Don't you ever listen to what that doctor said. You listen to me. I'm telling you right here and right now, you will never use your eyes as an excuse for not doing something with your life. We will figure it out." That was the reality.
So, Charlie Plaskon is a 78-year-old blind individual that I started racing with 20 years ago. We actually, 18 years ago, we met in 2004, and Hurricane Charlie literally blew away his house in Florida, and he still came out to California to do a race with me, the Malibu Triathlon. And we've been racing together ever since. He lets me do things like this, so he's awesome. And he's like the mayor of triathlon. He just says hi to everybody. I'm like, come on, we gotta go.
Well, it became increasingly clear that I had issues when I started school. First grade, things weren't coming to me as quickly as they should, and I started to get into trouble because I was just using up my time, not viciously, just using up my time not learning. And my first grade teacher picked up on that and suggested to my parents that you got to take him to a doctor and figure out what's going on. So they took me to a number of doctors, and they examined me from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, and nobody could figure out what was wrong until they zeroed in on my eyes. And the doctor picked up on it, and I remember sitting in the doctor's office, and my father said, "Okay, you stay here, I'm going to talk to the doctor and try to figure out what's going on." So even though I didn't understand how little I saw, thinking back, I knew I could hear everything. And I could hear my father talking with the doctor, and he clearly said, "The world is going to be a dangerous place for your son. I suggest you don't let him leave the house unless he's in a supervised situation." And I say to myself, I heard that. We get in the car, we go home, we walk straight through the house into the kitchen. The first time I heard it, it was a surprise. But what my father did was not a surprise. He turned me around and he said, with his fingers in my chest, "Don't you ever listen to what that doctor said. You listen to me. I'm telling you right here and right now, you will never use your eyes as an excuse for not doing something with your life. We will figure it out." That was the reality. My father, in many ways, created somewhat of a monster because he just said, you came from someplace and you're gonna be someplace else. Make the most of where you are right now. And don't ever consider yourself successful because you made it out of elementary school. So you make it through 6th grade, or you make it through 8th grade, because there was no middle school back in the day. So made it through 8th grade. He said, you're not gonna stay there. What are you gonna do? Die as an 8th grade student? You take what you've learned and springboard to the next level, or climb up the ladder to the next level. There's always another level there. If you take what you've learned and don't let it get stale.
How was the swim?
It was okay.
Yeah?
The best part of it is that it's done. That's the best part of the swim, getting out of the water.
No, I got the glasses in my hand. Oh, you're going on that side. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I know, I can't.
Okay, stay where you are. Just don't move. Which foot first? Left. Okay. You're ready.
Good guys, good luck. Stay
All
strong.
right, go team base. Go Matt. Go Charlie.
It's going to be at 70.3, swim, bike, and run challenge. It's going to be very exciting because one of the most meaningful races I ever had was with Matt Miller. Well, every race is meaningful, but the memorable one was Kona, because Peter Henning, at the end of that, when I crossed the finish line with my grandchildren, he said, hopefully, his grandchildren were there when he crossed the finish line. Hopefully, it'll make a difference in their lives. So now, I feel like Gene Autry, back in the saddle again. I have not done a race like tomorrow's race in years, but I feel like I'm back in the saddle again because I want to make some type of meaningful impression on anybody who's willing to stop, look, and listen.
How you feeling, Charlie?
Feeling good. It's all good. But you're keeping us safe?
28 miles in, hour and 40. So we'll finish the bike in, I don't know, 320, 330. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, I hadn't been on the tandem bike in 2 years, so not used to it. A little rough.
This is what I've done post-COVID. Schools are going to open up again. And yes, I still have the same disability. Yes, I am 78 years old. But this is what I'm still doing. If you can use this as an inspirational thing to get people out and busy, then here it is.
Are you ready?
I felt better, but I'm going to get it done. tired, and I said, so now you have a lot of time on your hands. And my father just wouldn't let me just sit. He said, find something to do. And don't pick something, don't talk to me about water skiing or stuff like that. You find something that you're not good at and something you really don't like. And I said, well, that's easy. Running, that's worthless. My niece did our first half marathon. And she said, come on, Uncle Charlie, you can do this, we can do this. I go, okay, no worries. So I go out a mile and a half, my leg stopped. And I said, this is not as easy as it looks. This is really challenging. So I worked at it longer and harder, and it was a real challenge. It was like tough. I practiced on a golf course. I would go there in the dark because that's where I was comfortable. And there were no lefts or rights. It was one straight path. And I would just go round and round. And now all of a sudden, like, my brain is saying, like, maybe what you should do is see what you're really made of. I started a program when I was director of adult education, when I was working, and I called it Lifelong Learning. And that was the name of the program, Lifelong Learning. And now I'm 78, and let me tell you, I learned a lot today. I learned a lot about altitude does to your ability to breathe. Something as simple as, like, people say, well, calm down, just breathe. Up here, just breathing can be a challenge.
Oh yeah.
Even if you're sitting. And if you try to run, then it's obviously more challenging. And then you throw in a lot of heat, 90-somebody-7, whatever Matt said it was, and the sun's out, and the hills are challenging by themselves. This was quite a combination of challenging situation. And you know, learning things, I respect learning things. You could stay safe and secure in your environment, or you can just step outside and learn things about yourself. You know what I enjoy most? I enjoy the atmosphere, the company. Yeah. Everybody here is doing something. They're either walking, running, biking. Get out and meet people and share your expertise. Relive the glory days now. If you were great in high school or great in college and it kind of slipped away from you, team yourself up with somebody who is obviously more challenged. Everybody can either help somebody or be helped. Or I'm already set for next weekend. I'm doing a swim bike thing. And I'm also going to I'll do that race next weekend. And I'm also going to do the New York City Marathon in November this year.
One your age group. So you have a sweet beer stein that says Without Limits Productions Harvest Moon Champion. So you get one right there. You got it? And Matt gets one as well. Yes, because it couldn't have happened without him.
It certainly could not have happened without him.
Congratulations, guys. There you go.
So we're already planning for the next one. It's going to be a flat course at sea level. That is a must. We are not going to do hilly courses at 5,000 feet ever again. I'll tell you that.
The people that I grew up that were my age group, some of them already passed. They already passed away. And some of the others are just trying to stay alive. And I went to school with these people, and nobody wanted to be me in school. I mean, I was the blind kid, but blind kid's still going.